My new work has been released. Welcome everyone to read my work in tomato novel. I hope everyone can enjoy it. Your attention is the driving force behind my writing, and I will strive to tell every story well. Chapter 1. The New World. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dragon Country, Southeast Province. The weather is sunny and cloudless for thousands of miles. In a small community on the edge of the city in Zhejiang, Southeast Province, Yi Chen was awakened by his phone alarm clock. He rubbed his head and thought to himself, last night, my colleagues had a dinner together, and I was drinking a fake bar. Why does it hurt so much? Yi Chen picked up his phone and checked the time, only to find that it was past 7 o'clock, more than an hour before work. He got up and prepared to wash up. When he walked into the bathroom, he was still confused and didn't notice anything unusual about himself. He was still washing up on his own. After a while, Yi Chen finished washing up and looked up at the dressing mirror to find that he seemed to have become younger. He was a bit surprised and thought he had read it wrong. He then lowered his head and washed his face, looked up, and found that it was still the same. It felt like something was wrong, so he came out and picked up his phone to take a look. Yi Chen opened his phone and looked at the latest news. He found that the things in the news were both familiar and unfamiliar. The familiar ones were the anime he had previously watched, while the unfamiliar ones seemed to have appeared in reality. While Yi Chen was still in a daze with his phone, a sound came from the door. Yi Chen, have you gotten up yet? Hurry up and come down for dinner. Yi Chen's habitual return to the Tao, get up, come right away. Yi Chen doesn't know what to do now. He doesn't know what happened. He has always lived alone. Why did there suddenly be an extra person in his family? His parents left when he was still young, just a simple departure without much contact, and he receives monthly living expenses, but he hasn't seen them since they left. After thinking for a while, Yi Chen had a bold idea. Perhaps he had gone back to the past, or perhaps in some other situation. He first went out to eat and then returned to his house, wanting to find out his basic situation and see if he belonged to a rebirth or another situation. As soon as Yi Chen returned to his room, his head was also getting more and more painful. Yi Chen held on for a while, then sat on the bed and fainted due to a splitting headache. After an unknown amount of time, Yi Chen woke up and found a girl lying asleep beside his bed. Yi Chen also remembered in his mind that this girl was his younger sister, but not his own. She was brought back by her parents before they left when she was a child. This younger sister was adopted and lived with her for about a year before her parents left, leaving Yi Chen to live with her. I have been living until now. As for now, according to Yi Chen's recollection, my predecessor, also known as Yi Chen, had a younger sister named Yi Li. Yi Li and Yi Chen were 2 months apart, and now it is the second semester of high school, 1 month away from graduation season. Today is Sunday, so Yi Li and Yi Chen are resting at home. Tomorrow is Monday, they will go to school to awaken the elves. You see correctly, they will awaken the elves. After awakening the elves, they will have an elf battle in the college entrance examination 1 month later, and after the written exam, they will graduate from high school. The battle results will be excellent. The written test scores will determine which university you will attend in the future. Yi Chen thought of this, but also roast, I have traveled through a parallel world and even had to take the college entrance examination. Yi Chen also had no choice but to support his forehead. After thinking for a moment, Yi Chen still called out Yi Li. After Yi Li got up, he said, how are you, Yi Chen? Are you okay? Is there anything uncomfortable? Yi Chen Hui Dao, no, it's already much better. It should have been a little low blood sugar early in the morning. It's okay now. After hearing this, Yi Li also breathed a sigh of relief and said, if you're okay, it's already noon. I'll go get some food. Yi Chen Hui Dao, okay, thank you for your hard work. After hearing this, Yi Li went out to prepare lunch, while Yi Chen continued to sort out the situation in this world. This world was around 1,000 years ago when there was a loud bang in the sky, and the alpaca, crossed out, made a brilliant appearance. Then the elves began to appear from the cracks, and the world map began to expand, with various secret realms appearing. After the secret realm came out, the elves first lived in it. After about 100 years, the secret realm began to merge with this world, and after another 100 years, the fusion of the secret realm with this world was completed. Under the guidance of Arcus, people began to awaken elves, and thus elves began to appear in human daily life. The good times did not last long, and new secret realms began to appear. People thought that this was created by Arcus again, but before Arcus stopped them, many people entered the secret realm and never came out again. After the human leaders found out, they found Arcus, communicated with him, and found out that the secret realm that came out this time was the dark secret realm. After discovering this problem, Arthas came to this world early to develop together with humans and prevent the invasion of dark elves. Hundreds of years passed like this, and with the help of Arceus, humans resisted multiple invasions of dark elves. Arceus was also seriously injured and fell into a deep sleep during one invasion of dark elves. Humans also used their own advantages to prevent several invasions of dark elves. This is how the world has developed to where it is now. Nowadays, every high school third-year student can awaken the first elf for free in school, and then awaken only when the elf needs to reach its own level. This awakening requires the awakener to awaken on their own, or they can also capture the elf contract, which can be used as awakened spirits. This is the trainer. Later on, as time went on, different professions emerged among humans, such as elf police and elf doctors. Nowadays, elf trainers are the mainstream profession in this world, and trainers are mostly on the front line of blocking the invasion of dark elves. Yi Chen discovered through recollection that there were dark elves in this world, which was not present in the original Pokémon. This world was basically the same as the original Pokémon, but it needed to block the invasion of dark elves. After sorting out the current situation, Yi Chen found something wrong. Isn't it true that all the travelers have golden fingers? Where is my golden finger? Yi Chen began to call out in his heart, "System, golden finger, Grandpa, is there anyone? If there is, let out a squeak." Then Yi Chen heard a squeak and there was no movement. After waiting for a while, there was still no movement, and he became curious. What is the situation? Can you say something? So it was until Yili asked Yi Chen to have dinner, but Yi Chen didn't hear back, so Yi Chen had to go eat. After finishing dinner and going out to play with Yili for an afternoon, Yi Chen will also come back and rest early, and no longer think about whether he has the problem of golden fingers. Yi Chen also slowly fell asleep in anticipation, waiting for the arrival of tomorrow. Chapter 2. System Arrival. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next morning, in the morning, Yi Chen was still in his sleep when suddenly a mechanical sound came to his mind, ding. 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 Yi Chen. Who? 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 System, system, ding. 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 Yi Chen. Don't make a fuss, I'll sleep a little longer. System, ding, host vital signs are normal, no response, ready for electrotherapy, Yi Chen. Yi Chen suddenly woke up with a trembling voice and asked, "Are you a system?" System, ding, yes, Yi Chen. Why did you just come? System, cough cough, there was a traffic jam on the road yesterday and I arrived a bit late. Please don't advise the host, Yi Chen. Where are you from in the system? Why are you still stuck in traffic? System, of course I'm from my home, Yi Chen exclaimed in surprise, your family. System, otherwise, we can't come from your home, can we? Yi Chen. Okay, speaking of the system, what functions do you have? System, my functions, whether to say more or less depends on how you understand them, Yi Chen exclaimed curiously, do I still need to understand this on my own? System, that's right, after all, people have different comprehension abilities, Yi Chen. Oh, then you can talk about it. System, my functions include store, check.in, system, that's about it, Yi Chen said with a black line on his face. Is this function okay? Tell me more about it. System, as the saying goes, a store is a place where you can use points to buy things, specifically things about elves, such as healing medicine, fruits, etc. As for check.in, you can check in once a day, and each check.in earns points. With points, you can buy things from the store, Yi Chen. Simply put, you move the offline store to the online store. System, similar, still portable, as long as you have points, you can buy things at any time, Yi Chen. Okay, it would be more convenient to go to the wilderness like this. Yi Chen thought for a moment and said, by the way, where is the beginner gift package for the system? System, what beginner gift package? Yi Chen. They all have beginner gift packages for system binding, why don't you? No, you're not too low. Level, you don't have anything, right? System, how could it be? At least I graduated from the System Vocational and Technical College, how could it be a low-level system? After hearing this, Yi Chen said, Vocational and Technical College. Isn't this just low-level? System, oh, there's a cake, I accidentally said it out. After hearing this, Yi Chen said, you said you're not a low-level person, you said it yourself. System, how could it be? I just graduated from school, I'm just a newbie, you're just bullying me like this. Okay, this is still a cute new system, Yi Chen thought to himself. Yi Chen said, alright, stop talking. Do you really have a beginner gift package? System, some, how could it be possible not to have? System, ding, you have a beginner gift package, please sign for it, Yi Chen. It's quite professional. System, that's it, I'm a college graduate, Yi Chen. Alright, open the beginner gift pack quickly. System, okay, system, ding, congratulations to the host for opening the beginner gift package, obtaining the Eye of Data, Mega Space, Extremely Large Space, System Points of 1000, and Everlasting Power, Top. Level, Yi Chen. Let's talk about it. What's the use of all of this? System, Data I can see elf data, making it easier for the host to understand the situation of the elves, Mega Space. As long as there are super evolved elves, the host does not need to use super advanced fossils and super evolved keystones, Extremely Large Space. Elves that can be super enlarged, the host can be super enlarged without the need for super giant wristbands, points. Used to buy things in the mall, Everlasting Power. The host has seen Pokémon, and you know it yourself. They have a good affinity for elves, can treat elves, and can also understand the meaning of elves in detail. System, oh, by the way, there's one more thing, Yi Chen. What else is there? The system, i.e., the sprites of the host's contract will be directly data-driven, and unless they are unable to fight, there will be no problems due to injuries, Yi Chen. So, will this have an impact on their growth? System, no, it's just that there won't be any injuries or anything like that, Yi Chen. Who? That's good. Yi Chen. By the way, the system, can we sign in now? System, okay, Yi Chen. Sign in, system, ding, due to the host's first check.in, the check.in points are multiplied by 10. Congratulations to the host for earning 1000 points, Yi Chen. System, is the point earned for this check.in fixed? System, yes, every check.in earns 100 points, Yi Chen. System, help me set it to automatic check.in. System, ding, host, this function is currently not available, Yi Chen. Then why don't you do it quickly? System, okay, please wait for the host, in 1 minute, Yi Chen. System, is it okay? System, alright, Yi Chen. That's fine. Yi Chen picked up his phone and checked it, only to find that it was already past 6 o'clock, so he got up from bed. Yi Chen got up and went to the door of Yi Li's room, knocking on her door, dong. 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 Dong, Yili, have you gotten up yet? After waiting for a while, Yili opened the door in a daze. Yi Chen looked at it and thought to himself, Yili's figure is pretty good. She is 1.6 meters tall, with a protruding front and a raised back. It looks like she should have AD. Yi Chen thought and said, get up soon, it's almost 7 o'clock. Today we have to go to school to awaken the elves. Yili looked up at Yi Chen and said, I understand. You go pack up first. I'll pack up and come right away. Yi Chen didn't take care of Yili anymore. He went to the bathroom to wash himself. Yili went back to her room to change clothes and then went to the kitchen to prepare breakfast. The two of them spent about 20 minutes tidying up and having breakfast before going out to school together. On the way to school, Yi Chen saw an elf with a grandpa or grandma sneaking out to sneak around, so he took a look. Elf. Paparazzi bag, gender. Male, attribute. Fairy, level. LV25, feature. Self-indulgence, because self-indulgence does not lead to chaos, race value. HP, 37, physical attack. 55, physical defense. 70, special attack. 30, special defense. 55, speed. 65, skills. Sweet aroma, hacking, long howling, impact, crying, tongue licking, tail wagging, desire, biting, round pupils, playing, self-motivation. After seeing it, Yi Chen also asked, system, does this have qualifications or individual values? The system, not available, it mainly depends on how to cultivate them. Elves are creatures full of infinite possibilities, and those with qualifications will only limit their growth. Moreover, the host, you and I are here, and you only need to let the elves participate in battles to gain experience. They will grow quickly and do not need resources to be cultivated bit by bit like others. Chapter 3. School, Awakening begins. You are listening at novelfull.audio. System, by the way, the host, I have something else to tell you, Yi Chen. Speak up, what's going on? System, i.e., Host, you should know that there will be an elf space in your world after awakening the elves, Yi Chen. I know. System, you know it, you should know that besides having an elf space when you wake up, you still have 2 elf spaces now, right? Yi Chen thought for a moment and said, are you talking about mega space and extremely large space? System, yes, host, Yi Chen. I know. System, that's good, host. You should know that after you awaken the elf, there will be a total of 3 elf spaces, Yi Chen. That's true. Is there any problem with this? The system, indeed has some issues, but the problem is not significant, Yi Chen said with a black line on his face. Do you have any questions? The system, is. It is. The host, your elf returns to 3 times the normal level of a normal person, Yi Chen thought for a moment and said, it's not a big problem either. System, host, there are still some issues, normal people usually only have 1 space, Yi Chen said, you're right. I've traveled through time and I already have a system. Can I be an ordinary person? System, host, it seems like what you're saying is really true. You're a traveler, and there's also the system. You're really not an ordinary person. Yi Chen. That's fine then. System, you can use a hammer, okay, there won't be anyone in this world with more than 1 elf space, do you know? Yi Chen. I think I know. System, just know, don't mess around, otherwise I won't be able to save you, Yi Chen. Alright, just hold on until invincible. System, yes, host, we must survive until invincible, Yi Chen. Alright, I understand. Is there anything else? The system is gone, Yi Chen. Okay, I won't tell you anymore. I'll be at school soon. System, okay, I'm calling you for something, the Merciless Dividing Line Class 2, grade 3 Yi Chen and Yi Li came to the class together at school. Yes, you read it correctly. Yi Chen and Yi Li are in the same class. When the class saw Yi Chen and Yi Li coming together, they all roast classmate A. Are Yi Chen and Yi Li sure they are siblings? Classmate B. Why did Yi Chen and Yi Li come together? Ah, my goddess Yi. Classmate C. Speaking of which, Yi Chen and Yi Li are siblings. How come they don't look like each other? After 3 years of reading, I haven't noticed anything similar between them. Classmate Ding. Every time Goddess Yi comes over with Yi Chen, it feels so painful in my heart. Woo 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 woo, the class wailed, and Yi Chen would roast every time he saw this scene. Is there any problem with my sister and me coming together? This is my sister, we just live together. Hello. Yi Chen walked to his seat, and his desk mate was a boy with a round figure and face. At first glance, it looked like a cabbie beast, and it felt like a miniature version of a cabbie beast. Lu Li saw Yi Chen coming over and said, Chenzi, every time you come to school with your sister, you feel like you hear waves of clicking sounds. Yi Chen said, why didn't I hear it? Where was the clicking sound? Lu Li said, you sound so good, it's a heartbreaking voice. Yi Chen said, if you want to break it, you can break it. It has nothing to do with me, It shouldn't matter. Lu Li said, it's okay. You and Yi Li said they were siblings, but I've been looking at them for 3 years and I can't see any similarities between you two. If we have to say something, it's just that you two are the school flowers and the school grass. Yi Chen said, so if you say that, we're quite compatible. Lu Li looked at Yi Li and said, it seems like what you said is really true. Yi Chen said with a black face, fortunately, she's my sister. Otherwise, if you say this, tomorrow's school hot topic headline would be, the secret that Zhejiang University flowers and school grass have to say, ... Lu Li thought for a moment and said with a contemptuous expression, Chen Zi can think of it. You and Yi Li don't really have anything, do you? Yi Chen gave Lu Li a harsh slap and said, don't think so. After Yi Chen and Lu Li finished speaking, the homeroom teacher Chen Xing walked in and knocked on the podium, saying, classmates, today is the day when you awaken the elves. I won't say much about it. I mainly want to tell you that no matter what elves you awaken, you should not despise them. You should cultivate them well. They are also life and your future partners in fighting against the dark spirits. They are loyal partners who can sacrifice themselves for you. Regardless of their strength or weakness, you should treat them well. Have you all memorized clearly? The classmates replied, we know now. Yi Chen looked at this scene and thought to himself, yes, elves are our best companions. After the class teacher finished speaking, she waited with her classmates in the class for their awakening moment to arrive. After waiting for about 10 minutes, the school's loudspeaker sounded out, please gather all high school seniors on the playground. Please gather all high school seniors on the playground. Once again, please gather all high school seniors on the playground. After hearing this, the students all followed their homeroom teacher to the playground to gather. Yi Chen came to the playground and saw many students. There were 10 classes in his senior year, with 40 to 50 people in each class, totaling 400 to 500 people, waiting for the awakening ceremony of the elf to begin. The school leaders saw that the people were almost here and walked up to the podium, saying, I am the principal of Zhejiang High School, Gao Qingshan. Now is the awakening ceremony for the 3rd grade of Zhejiang High School. I hope all students can awaken their own spirits. I wish everyone a bright future and a prosperous future in martial arts. The students under the podium also spoke together, wishing us a bright future ahead, wishing us a prosperous future in Wuyun. The principal said again, the awakening ceremony for the 3rd grade of high school is now starting. The school's teaching director walked up to the podium and began calling out the names of each student, urging them to come up and awaken the spirits. Yi Chen looked at the round ball on the podium and used his data eye to explore it. Name. Elf Awakening Stone, function. The awakening stone created by Arceus thousands of years ago after his arrival in this world can be used to awaken elves. It contains a trace of energy from Arceus's 18 stone slabs. Yi Chen looked at the awakening stone and asked in his heart, "System, besides being able to awaken elves, is this thing of any use?" System, host, this awakening stone is mainly used to awaken elves. Although it can also be carried by elves, it is not very useful. At most, it allows the carried elves to learn skills other than their own attributes, not many, at most one or two. Yi Chen thought for a moment and said, "Yes, if this thing were of great use, it would probably have been stolen long ago and could still be left here." Chapter 4. First Awakening. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Just as Yi Chen was communicating with the system, the awakening ceremony had already begun. Yi Chen looked at his classmates who had gone up to awaken, some of whom were lucky enough to awaken the 3 imperial families in various regions, while others were unlucky enough to awaken various family insects or birds. Time has slowly passed, and the students in class 1 of the 3rd year of high school have already awakened. Some of them may have happy or depressed faces, but without exception, they have now officially become a new trainer. Now the students in class 1 of grade 3 have completed their awakening, and now it's class 2 of grade 3. Watching our classmates step onto the awakening stage one by one and successfully awaken the elf, all of us who have not yet awakened are envious. As time passed by, it was finally Lu Li's turn to awaken the elf. He nervously walked onto the awakening platform and placed his hand on the awakening stone. A gray-white light flashed on the awakening stone, and Lu Li also opened his eyes. Next to him stood a dark blue elf with a round face and hair dragging the ground, which was the little cabby beast. Yi Chen saw Lu Li's awakened spirit and tried to suppress his smile, mainly because Lu Li's figure and the evolved cabby beast of the little cabby beast were too similar, which really matched. Lu Li woke up and came to Yi Chen's side. Seeing Yi Chen's face turning red, he asked, "Chenzi, what's wrong with you? Why is your face so red?" Yi Chenxiang suppressed his smile and said, "Lu Li, you're awakened spirit and you are really a perfect match." Lu Li looked at Yi Chen like this and said helplessly, "I can't control this awakening little cabby beast, even though I quite like it." Yi Chen said, "Mainly the evolved cabby beast from the little cabby beast, why don't you compete with him now?" Lu Li was very helpless and didn't say anything. After a while, it was Yi Li's turn to awaken the elves, and Yi Chen was also watching from below. After a while, a green light flashed on the awakening stone, and next to Yi Li stood a little green creature with a big leaf on its head and a circle of green, seed-like beans around its neck. This was the leaves of the 3 imperial chrysanthemums in the Qingdu area of the Pokémon. Yi Chen also used his data eye to take a look. Elf. Chrysanthemum leaves, gender. Female, attribute. Grass, level. LV5, feature. Prosperous, when HP decreases, the power of grass attribute moves will increase, hidden feature. Leaf defense, does not become abnormal on clear weather, race value. HP, 45, physical attack. 49, physical defense. 65, special attack. 49, special defense. 65, speed. 45, skills. Vine whip, parasitic seed, crazy, impact, cry. Yi Chen couldn't help but nod when he saw the information about the chrysanthemum grass leaf. This chrysanthemum grass leaf is indeed good. Cultivate it well, and in the future, at least you can reach the Heavenly King. If there is an adventure, achieving a quasi-champion should also be possible. After Yi Li's awakening was completed, she also walked off the awakening platform, where Yi Chen's name was also called out. Yi Chen calmly walked up to the awakening platform, placed her hand on the awakening stone at the teacher's signal, and closed her eyes. Yi Chen only felt that his consciousness had entered a chaotic state, where there were 2 spaces. If Yi Chen had guessed correctly, these 2 spaces should be mega space and mega space. Both spaces were huge, and in these two spaces, spherical buildings like Pokemon balls appeared, with mega evolutionary stones and mega bracelets embedded at the center of the spherical buildings. These two spherical buildings slowly opened, each containing an elf. In the mega ball was a fiery chicken, and in the extremely large ball was a wonderful frog seed. They slowly opened their eyes, looked at Yi Chen, and each responded to Yi Chen with a sound before moving. After Yi Chen finished looking at these two spaces, a new space appeared in the chaos, which was the elf space that Yi Chen normally awakened to. This space began to slowly take shape, and like the other two spaces, a spherical building resembling an elf ball appeared. However, the center of this building was embedded with pure crystal. The spherical building in the new space slowly opened, and inside appeared a spear shrimp with an iron arm. Iron-armed spear shrimp slowly opened its eyes and responded to Yi Chen, then stopped moving. At this moment, a huge suction threw Yi Chen out. Yi Chen opened his eyes and looked at the iron-armed spear shrimp beside him. The iron-armed spear shrimp also looked at Yi Chen, and neither of them spoke. Yi Chen went over to pick up the iron-armed spear shrimp and walked off the awakening platform. Yi Chen said as he walked, "Iron-armed spear shrimp, we will be partners in the future. Please give us more guidance in the future." The iron-armed spear shrimp responded, "Iron arm, please give me more guidance in the future, master." After Yi Chen walked to the back of the team, he looked at the information of Huiji chicken, meow frog seed, and iron-armed spear shrimp, elf. Fire chicken, gender. Male, attribute. Fire, level. LV5, feature. Fierce fire, when HP decreases, the power of fire attribute moves will increase, hidden feature. Acceleration, speed will increase each turn, race value. HP, 45, physical attack. 60, physical defense. 40, special attack. 70, special defense. 50, speed. 45, skills. Double return, rock collapse, survive in a desperate situation, hold on, brave, clear-headed, grab, cry, elf. Bulbasaur seed, gender. Male, attribute. Grass, level. LV5, feature. Prosperous, when HP decreases, the power of grass attribute moves will increase, hidden feature. Chlorophyll, speed increases on clear weather, race value. HP, 45, physical attack. 49, physical defense. 49, special attack. 65, special defense. 65, speed. 45, skills. Whirlwind blade, pedal dance, light wall, rocket head hammer, mysterious guardian, impact, cry, elf. Iron-armed spear shrimp, gender. Male, attribute. Water, level. LV5, feature. Super emitter, the power of wave and waveguide style moves will increase, race value. HP, 50, physical attack. 53, physical defense. 62, special attack. 58, special defense. 63, speed. 44, skill. Foam light, water tail, find a partner, water gun, jump, clamp. Yi Chen looked at the information of his 3 elves and was also a bit surprised. If it weren't for the system's manipulation, I wouldn't have carried any messages. System, as long as the host knows, you already have the system. Elves must have the best talent. Yi Chen was also startled by the sudden sound from the system, and then said, as expected, "I am just my luck. How could it be so good? It's all thanks to the system." System, host does not need to do this, this is what this system should do. Chapter 5. First Battle. You are listening at novelfull.audio. System, oh, by the way, there's something I need to say, Yi Chen. System, please tell me, what's going on? System, it's not a big deal, it's just a reward for your first awakening as an elf, Yi Chen. System, tell me quickly. What reward is it? System, ding, congratulations to the host for successfully awakening the elf for the first time, reward experience synchronizer, Yi Chen. System, what is this experience synchronizer? System, host, due to your special nature, this experience synchronizer can synchronize and evenly distribute the experience points you obtain to the other two space sprites, Yi Chen said, that is to say, I can release one of the elf brush experiences separately, and the other two can also obtain experience synchronously. System, yes, host, Yi Chen. Well, that way, there's no need to cultivate elves. It takes 3 times as much time as others. That's really good. System, as long as the host knows, time slowly passes by. About 2 hours later, the awakening elves in the 3rd year of high school have all been completed. The school principal walked onto the podium and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, you have awakened the spirit and completed it. The school will give you a holiday. Before the college entrance examination, you can cultivate your own spirit at home and wait for the arrival of the exam." The students below started cheering when they heard it. The principal then said, "Ladies and gentlemen, during the holiday period, don't neglect the study of cultural courses just because of cultivating elves. Cultural courses also need to be taken in the college entrance examination." When the students in the audience heard about the holiday, their hearts had already flown to the sky. No one would listen to the principal's next words. The principal looked at the students below helplessly and looked for them, then said, "All right, students, please be quiet. I wish you all the best results in the college entrance examination 1 month later, and that you will be interested in your favorite university. Finally, I wish you all a bright future and a prosperous military career." After listening to what the principal said, the students below also said, "Wishing us a bright future ahead, wishing us a prosperous future in Wuyan." The principal said in the end, "Now all senior high school students are on vacation." The classmates also left school happily. Lu Li, Yi Chen, and Yi Li gathered together. When Lu Li saw Yi Li coming over, he also said to Yi Chen, "Chenzi, the elves have already awakened, go and have a tense and exciting elf battle against the battlefield." After hearing this, Yi Chen said to Yi Li, "How about going or not?" Yi Li said, "Then go ahead and get used to it." Lu Li, Yi Chen, and Yi Li walked out of the school together and headed to the nearby battle square. After walking for about 10 minutes, the 3 of them arrived at the battle square together. The battle square was composed of 10 battle venues and an elf healing center. When the 3 of them came, there happened to be an empty battlefield. The 3 of them went together, with Yi Li serving as the judge. Yi Chen and Lu Li engaged in a battle, and the 2 released their own elves. "Go, little cabby beast, go ahead, iron-armed spear shrimp." Yi Chen looked at the information of the little cabby beast with the eye of data, elf. Little cabby beast, gender. Male, attribute. General, level. LV5, feature. Thick fat, protected by thick fat, it can have the damage of fire and ice attributes, hidden feature. Greedy ghost, originally only eats tree fruit when HP becomes low, but will eat it when HP is still halfway, race value. HP, 135, physical attack. 85, physical defense. 40, special attack. 40, special defense. 85, speed. 5, skills. Sacrifice collision, double return, ground crack, hiccup, impact, tongue licking, rounding. Yi Chen felt a bit troublesome looking at the information of the small card compared to the beast. The small card compared to the beast has high dual defense and is not very easy to play. After watching both sides prepare, Yi Li said, "Battle begins, Yi Chen. First say hello with foam light." Lu Li watched as Yi Chen didn't talk about martial arts and was preparing to take action, but he was also anxious and said, "The little cabby beast uses it to round." The pincers of the iron-armed shrimp opened, and the blue light came on, emitting a lot of bubbles towards the small cabby beast. The small cabby beast also flashed white light, and the physical defense increased by 1. The small cabby beast was hit by the foam light from the iron arm shrimp, and there were some scars on its body, but it did not affect the small cabby beast. After all, the special defense of the small cabby beast was very good. Yi Chen looked at the rough and thick little cabby beast on the other side and said to the iron-armed spear shrimp, "Use iron-armed spear shrimp to find companions." Iron-armed spear shrimp perform a magical dance in place, transforming the characteristics of the little cabby beast into a super launcher. Lu Li looked at this and said to the little cabby beast, "It's not working." Little cabby beast uses ground fissures and then collides. The little cabby beast's feet were wrapped in white light and jumped up, using a ground crack. After landing, the little cabby beast ran up and collided with the iron arm cannon shrimp. Yi Chen saw that the little cabby beast had used a ground fissure and said to the iron-armed spear shrimp, "Iron-armed spear shrimp, jump up and dodge, wait until the little cabby beast rushes over and uses the water tail." The iron-armed spear shrimp jumped up to avoid the ground crack, and a layer of water condensed from its tail, waiting for the little cabby beast to come over. Lu Li didn't react, and the little cabby beast was hit by the iron-armed spear shrimp with a flowing tail. The little cabby beast was pushed back a few meters and suffered some minor injuries. The impact force of the iron-armed spear shrimp was also pushed back 1 meter. Yi Chen took the opportunity to say, "Iron-armed shrimp, use foam light." Lu Li didn't respond. He didn't give instructions to the small cabby beast. The small cabby beast was hit by foam light and turned into mosquito-repellent eyes. Yi Li couldn't say anything when she saw the little cabby beast fighting. Due to Lu Li's inability to fight the little cabby beast, the winner is Yi Chen's iron-armed spear shrimp. Lu Li also said that he had taken the little cabby beast back. "Yi Li, go quickly and help me seek revenge." Yi Li also walked to the battlefield and said to Yi Chen, "Brother, are you still okay?" Yi Chen couldn't bear to hear it anymore and said, "How could it not work? Come on." Yi Li released her chrysanthemum leaves and said, "Chrysanthemum leaves use rattan whips." Chrysanthemum leaves extended 2 rattan whips from their necks and attacked the iron-armed spear shrimp. Yi Chen calmly said, "Use the iron-armed spear shrimp to clamp and pull the chrysanthemum leaves over." The big pliers of the iron-armed spear shrimp caught the chrysanthemum leaf vine whip and slowly pulled the chrysanthemum leaf over. Yi Li didn't panic either, speaking calmly and slowly. Chrysanthemum leaves collide and charge up, hitting at a distance of about the same. Yi Chen also said to the iron-armed spear shrimp, "Iron-armed spear shrimp, use a water gun to shoot back the chrysanthemum leaves later." So, the two elves gathered their strength while waiting for the opportunity, but the iron-armed spear shrimp had just played a game, so they were more familiar with chrysanthemum leaf. As the distance approached, the iron-armed spear shrimp let go of chrysanthemum leaf. The iron-armed spear shrimp's big pliers flashed blue light and shot chrysanthemum leaf out of the field. After seeing it, Lu Li said, "Due to chrysanthemum leaves leaving the battlefield, iron-armed spear shrimp won." Chapter 6. Elves, Trainer Grading Explanation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yi Li watched as Yi Chen's iron-armed spear shrimp kicked his chrysanthemum grass leaf out of the battlefield, feeling helpless. "Brother, you're bullying people too much." Yi Chen replied to Yi Li and said, "Where did I bully someone? It's just a normal battle." Why didn't Xia Wiley admit her defeat? Yi Li pursed her lips and said, "How could you not admit it? It's just that you're a bit unwilling to lose." Yi Chen looked at Yi Li and smiled. "What's so frustrating about this? The battle is just like this, and my iron-armed spear shrimp has only fought against Lu Li's little cabby beast once. How can we do it without some small means?" Yi Li didn't continue to dwell on anything, so the three of them went to the elf healing center in the battle square to restore their respective elves. Yi Chen also took this opportunity to ask the system about the rewards obtained in the battle just now. 2 minutes ago. System, ding, congratulations to the host for winning their first battle and obtaining experience map copies. Going back to the present, Yi Chen asked, "System, is this experience map instance the one I was thinking of?" System, yes, host, Yi Chen. Is there anything else in this experience map instance besides being able to brush experiences? System, yes, the host can use a Pokeball to capture Pokémon inside, Yi Chen. Will the elves captured here become my contract elves? System, host, no, the sprites captured in the experience map instance are the same as those in the anime, and will not become the host of your contract sprites, Yi Chen. By the way, the system, I haven't had a specific understanding of the level division of elves and trainers yet. Can you tell me? System, okay, host, please wait a moment. I will list it for you, but this world does not have specific level recognition for elves. Generally, when elves reach their level, the elf space will remind people to awaken new elves. Yi Chen. Okay, could you first list the levels of elves and trainers? System, okay, host, the specific level classification has been listed, the host can check it on their own, 0.9, novice, novice trainer, 10.19, beginner level, beginner trainer, 20.29, intermediate, intermediate trainer, 30.39, advanced, advanced trainer, 40.49, elite, elite trainer, 50.59, Daoguan, Daoguan trainer, 60.69, quasi-king, quasi-king trainer, 70.79, heavenly king trainer, 80.89, quasi-champion, quasi-champion trainer, 90.99, champion, champion trainer, 100 plus. Divine beast trainers. After reading it, Yi Chen said to the system, I have a specific understanding of this rating. How to achieve this trainer rating? System, host, specific trainer ratings have been listed, host can check on their own, novice trainer. The newly awakened Pokémon belong to novice trainers. Junior trainer. The first elf can become a junior trainer by reaching level 10, awakening the second elf. Intermediate trainer. After both elves reach beginner level, one of them can become an intermediate trainer by reaching level 20, awakening the third elf. Advanced trainer. All three elves have reached intermediate level, and one of them can become an advanced trainer by reaching level 30, awakening the fourth elf. Elite trainer. All four elves have reached advanced level, and one of them can become an elite trainer by reaching level 40, awakening the fifth elf. Daoguan trainer. All five elves have reached the elite, and one of them reaches level 50 to become a Daoguan trainer, awakening the sixth elf. Quasi-heavenly king trainer. All six elves have arrived at the dojo, and three of them can become quasi-heavenly king trainers upon reaching level 60, awakening the seventh elf. Heavenly king trainer. All seven elves have reached the quasi-heavenly king, and three of them can become heavenly king trainers by reaching level 70, awakening the eighth elf. Quasi-champion trainer. All 8 elves have reached the heavenly king, of which 6 elves can become quasi-champion trainers by reaching level 80, awakening the ninth elf. Champion trainer. All 9 elves have reached the quasi-champion level, of which 6 elves can become champion trainers by reaching level 90, awakening the 10th elf. After becoming a champion trainer, one needs to reach level 90 of all 10 Pokémon in their hand in order to awaken new Pokémon. The same applies to awakening Pokémon in the future, as all Pokémon must reach the champion level in order to summon new Pokémon. Divine Beast Trainer. All the contracted elves in their hands have reached the peak of the championship, which is level 99. One of the elite elves needs to reach level 100 in order to awaken the divine beasts. However, the awakened divine beasts do not have any divine titles and have a tribe. After the divine beasts awaken, if they do not recognize you, even if you have a contract with them, they will not listen to you. System reminder, there is no divine beast trainer in this world because reaching level 100 requires the power of the condensing law. Currently, only the strongest known champion trainer in the world is at level 99. After seeing the detailed grading of trainers by the system, Yi Chen asked, System, can I reach level 100 after reaching level 99 for my future Pokémon? System, host, if you're thinking about pie eating, even if you brush the elf's experience to level 100, it's only in the pseudo-god stage, Yi Chen's incomprehensible way, so I've reached level 100 in experience, why isn't it divine? System, you didn't take a good look. Levels 99 to 100 require the power of laws. If you only brush up your experience without the power of laws, then you are only a god with empty levels and no divine power, Yi Chen. What do you mean is that my elf also needs to understand the power of the law on its own after reaching level 100. System, host, you didn't take a good look at the system store when you first saw it. Go to the system store and take a good look. Yi Chen opened the system store in confusion and flipped through it bit by bit. After a while, Yi Chen suddenly realized that it could be like this. System, just know, save your points well. Yi Chen looked at the items in the system store again. Law of Fire .100000000000, Law of Water .100000000000, Law of Grass .100000000000, etc. Yi Chen saw the numbers behind these rules and counted them. He exclaimed, "Good guy, one rule costs 1 billion. Yi Chen calculated that at least 30 elves will awaken in the future, and this guarantee will earn 3 billion points. After seeing it, the system also said, the host may only need 1.8 billion, after all, insights can be taught, so it will be more convenient to understand. After hearing this, Yi Chen also choked silently. Chapter 7. Experience Map Copy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lu Li, Yi Chen, and Yi Li were waiting for elf treatment at the elf center when Lu Li asked Yi Chen, "Chenzi, how are you planning to spend the 1-month holiday before the college entrance examination?" Yi Chen Hui Dao, how else can we live, how comfortable can we live? Lu Li was choked by Yi Chen's words and didn't know how to answer them. After thinking for a moment, Lu Li realized that Yi Chen's academic performance was so good that he could pass the college entrance examination in the humanities. During this period, all he needed to do was cultivate his talents well. Yi Li also asked Yi Chen when she heard them say that, "Brother, are you planning to cultivate elves at home this month?" Yi Chen Hui Dao, not necessarily, elves must be cultivated. Yi Chen has already planned to cultivate elves in the experience map dungeon for the remaining month. After all, there is still a level of elf battle in the college entrance examination. The three of them waited for a while in the elf center, and the elf had already completed the treatment. They were all lively and ready to go home. The three of them left the elf center and went back home separately. After all, Lu Li's and Yi Chen's families were not together, so they had to part ways. We'll have to wait until the vacation ends next time we see each other. Yi Chen and Yi Li returned home, and after saying a word, they went back to their room. Yi Chen asked the system in his heart, "System, after I enter this experience map instance, am I still there in reality?" System, host, you are not in the real world. After all, you can only release the elves after you enter. Yi Chen thought for a moment and walked out of the room, saying to Yi Li, "Xiaoli, I'm planning to go out and experience in the nearby forest. Wait for me at home when I come back." When Yi Li heard Yi Chen say this, she was also worried and said, "Brother, why don't I go with you?" After hearing this, Yi Chen definitely couldn't agree. After all, he was going to experience map dungeons. If Yi Li followed, how could he level up well? Yi Chen said to Yi Li, "Xiaoli, you don't have to worry about me. I'm in the nearby forest and everything will be fine. I'll be back when the vacation ends." Yi Chen looked at Yi Li with a worried expression, so he continued to say, "Don't worry, Xiaoli. I won't be fine. Just stay at home and wait for me to come back." Yi Li couldn't resist Yi Chen either, so she had to let him go and let him come back early, so as not to worry about herself. Yi Chen also agreed to Yi Li and left home. After Yi Chen came out of home, he first went to a nearby elf shop and bought 6 red and white elf balls, as well as some elf food and medicine. He also bought some camping equipment in the shop, such as tents, sleeping bags, lighting lights, etc. After all, he had to stay in the dungeon for a long time. Yi Chen bought something from the elf store, found an empty alley, and walked in. After entering, Yi Chen confirmed that there was no one else nearby besides him, so he said to the system, "System, using experience map copy, system, good host, experience map copy has been activated, please prepare for it. Just as the system finished speaking, it felt like the sky and earth were spinning around for a while. In just a few seconds, Yi Chen arrived at the experience map instance. When Yi Chen arrived at the experience instance, the system suddenly popped up system, host, experience map instance successfully opened. Yi Chen asked system, what do the elves in this dungeon say? Is there a dungeon map or something? System, host, the area you are currently in is the beginner zone for dungeons. The dungeon map requires the host to explore on their own, and the system will help the host record the explored area. Yi Chen was also curious when he heard the system say this and asked, system, there are still different regions in this instance. System, yes, host, but there is no regional division. If you enter a strong elf territory at a low level, it is basically 10 deaths and no life. Yi Chen asked, system, how is this area classified? The system, host, region level, and trainer level are the same, divided into 10 regions in total. Upon hearing this, Yi Chen understood and asked, system, how should I go to the next area, and how do I calculate the time flow rate in this instance and outside? The system mainly involves going to the next area and completing a task in the current area. After the task is completed, the next area can be opened. Additionally, the time flow rate in the instance and outside is 2.1. Yi Chen also understood what the system said. After hearing that the time flow rate between the dungeon and the real world was 2.1, he felt relieved. He could stay in the dungeon for 2 months, and only 1 month had passed outside, which was in line with his wishes. Yi Chen also released his 3 elves, let them know each other, and then started the upgrade journey with the 3 elves in the dungeon. Yi Chen and the 3 little ones began to wander around in the dungeon. Just as Yi Chen passed through a small grass, 3 little Ladas emerged from inside. Yi Chen also began to command these 3 little ones to engage in battles. Iron Arm Shrimp uses Foam Light, Bulbasaur uses a Rocket Hammer, Huiji Chicken uses Scratch. The big pliers of the iron-armed spear shrimp flashed blue light, emitting a bunch of bubbles and hitting little Lada. The Bulbasaur's limbs forcefully collided with little Lada, and the fire child chicken also ran. White light lit up on its wings and grabbed little Lada. However, these 3 little Ladas were obviously not of high level, and when they were hit, they became mosquito-repellent eyes. At this moment, a white light flashed on their bodies, and Yi Chen knew that they had upgraded. So Yi Chen continued to wander in the forest with the 3 little ones, and when they encountered wild elves, they let them solve it on their own. After all, the elves they encountered were not of high level, so Yi Chen did not command them anymore. Let them familiarize themselves with the battle process, so that they can also attack on their own when facing crises in the future. So Yi Chen went from day to night, and the 3 little ones had already reached level 9, almost reaching the beginner level. When they reached the beginner level, they could awaken new elves themselves. Yi Chen and Sanshao also found a small stream and planned to spend the night here. Yi Chen first opened the prepared tent, fixed it, and then took out some food to prepare dinner for himself. At this moment, a horned goldfish suddenly jumped out of the water and attacked Yi Chen. Yi Chen was also surprised and immediately spoke up. Bulbasaur uses a light wall and then a whirlwind knife. Bulbasaur's eyes immediately emitted blue light and a transparent wall appeared in front of Yi Chen, blocking the attack of the horned goldfish. However, the horned goldfish also fell to the ground and bounced back and forth. Bulbasaur's flower bud on his back flashed with a white light, and a transparent wind blade hit the horned goldfish. As the horned goldfish was on the shore, they also did not dodge, and were immediately beaten into mosquito-repellent eyes. Yi Chen crouched down and put the goldfish back into the water, continuing to prepare dinner. Chapter 8. First Conquest. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After finishing dinner, Yi Chen and Sanshao took out their fishing rod from their backpack and prepared to fish and relax by the creek. 3 little ones also started playing together by the creek. Yi Chen held a fishing rod by the creek and soon caught the first fish. Yi Chen looked at the fish, its whole body was red, its fins and tail were white, and it had a crown like dorsal fin. Yi Chen knew it was the Carp King. Yi Chen looked at the silly little gaze of the Carp King, which also caused the Bulbasaur to collide and knock the Carp King back. Yi Chen continued to fish by the creek, and most of the fish caught were Carp King. Yi Chen thought to himself, isn't this stream filled with Carp Kings? But Yi Chen just thought about it. Anyway, just to pass the time, Yi Chen didn't care so much. Yi Chen was fishing by the creek, and in just a moment, he caught several Carp Kings. Yi Chen also had Bulbasaur directly hit the Carp King back into the creek. After a while, Yi Chen also felt that time was almost up. When he was preparing to tidy up his fishing rod, it was suddenly pulled. Yi Chen also hurriedly started pulling the fishing rod on the shore, wrestling with the underwater guy. The Bulbasaur and the others saw that Yi Chen couldn't pull the fishing rod up, and they were also a bit anxious. After seeing this, Yi Chen said, Bulbasaur, come and hold me behind me. Let's catch this guy from the water together. 3 little ones also came behind Yi Chen. Bulbasaur and Fire Chicken bit into Yi Chen's clothes, while Iron-Armed Spear Shrimp grabbed Yi Chen's clothes with big pliers. 1 person and 3 elves began to pull up, and so on. Without much effort, 1 person and 3 elves pulled up the guy in the water. Yi Chen looked at the elf pulled up. The elf was light purple in color, with gray fins and tails, and spots on its body. It looked so ugly. Yi Chen was also prepared to subdue the ugly fish when he saw it. After all, the evolved mynas of the ugly fish are known as the most beautiful elves. Yi Chen said to Meow Frog Seed, Bulbasaur uses impact on ugly fish, take a break, don't hit ugly fish into the stream. Upon hearing this, Bulbasaur ran over and knocked the ugly fish onto the ground. The ugly fish was not strong enough, but when Bulbasaur hit it, it turned into a mosquito-repellent eye. Yi Chen also threw the elf ball, which opened and emitted a red light. The elf ball received the ugly fish into the spirit ball, which fell to the ground and swayed. The elf ball shook 3 times before making a ding sound. Ding! Yi Chen was also overjoyed when he heard the sound. After all, this was his first true surrender. Yi Chen stepped forward and picked up the Pokémon ball, shouting loudly, I have tamed the flash ugly fish. San Xiaojue jumped 2 meters high happily behind Yi Chen and let out a joyful cry, Iron Arm, Chamo, Seed. When Yi Chen was happy, the system popped up. System, congratulations to the host for conquering the sprite for the first time, reward the host for conquering the sprite space. When Yi Chen heard the sound of the system, he also felt a buzzing sound in his mind and there was no movement. Yi Chen also immersed his mind in his body and saw a new space next to the original 3 elf spaces. Ugly fish also swam back and forth in this new space, happily playing in the water. Yi Chen also used his data eye to check the information of the ugly fish, elf. Ugly fish, flash, gender. Female, attribute. Water, level. LV9, feature. Easy to swim, speed increases during rainy weather, hidden feature. Adaptability, moves with the same attribute as oneself will increase their power, race value. HP, 20, physical attack. 15, physical defense. 20, special attack. 10, special defense. 55, speed. 80, skills. White mist, hypnosis, strange light, black mist, dragon breath, mirror reflection, scratching, jumping. Yi Chen was also happy to see the information about the ugly fish. Sure enough, the flash elves are all very good beings. Just as Yi Chen was looking at the information about the ugly fish in his heart, another ugly fish came from the stream next to him. Yi Chen was overjoyed when he saw it, and he happened to take this ugly fish and give it to Yi Li. When Yi Chen thought of this, he released his ugly fish and said to it, Ugly fish, this should be your little sisters in this stream. Tell her to follow us. Hearing what Yi Chen said, the ugly fish also vomited 2 bubbles, and swam to the ugly fish beside her. It also communicated with the wild ugly fish. After a while, Yi Chen's ugly fish came back and asked Yi Chen to take out the fairy ball to conquer her little sisters. Yi Chen came to the creek and also talked to the wild ugly fish, are you willing to become my elf? The wild ugly fish didn't think much and collided with the Pokémon ball. The Pokémon ball received the ugly fish inside, and the Pokémon ball didn't shake either. Instead, it made a ding sound. Ding. Yi Chen also collected the ugly fish and let the two ugly fish play on their own in the collection space. Yi Chen also looked at the information of another ugly fish, and there was no difference in the information between the two ugly fish, except that the shining ugly fish had strange light, dragon breath, and itching. Yi Chen didn't pay much attention. After all, this ugly fish was going back to give to Yi Li. Just as Yi Chen was thinking this way, the system came out. System, host, the elves you tame will all be in your tame space. If you give the elf ball to your sister, unless she contracts this elf, it will belong to you. Yi Chen also asked when he heard the system's words. System, then I'll hand over this ugly fish to my sister. If she doesn't make a contract, will this ugly fish not listen to my sister? System, host, these two ugly fish belong to you. After you tame them, they belong to an alternative contract, which is also a benefit I bring to the host, Yi Chen. The meaning is, as long as I communicate well with ugly fish, I can do it, right? System, yes, host, Yi Chen. Okay, then I'll know. Yi Chen didn't have to worry too much, so he and Sanxiao just tidied up and rested. One night later the next day, Yi Chen and 3 elves began their upgrade journey again in the forest. At noon, a white light flashed on all 5 elves, indicating that they had reached level 10 and reached the primary stage. Yi Chen immersed his mind in his body and saw a new spherical building in the mega space, the extremely large space, and the Z-space inside his body. Yi Chen also walked over and began to awaken with the help of the system. Chapter 9. New Awakening Elves. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yi Chen began a new awakening with the help of the system. 3 spherical buildings slowly opened at a time, and the 3 elves inside also showed their postures. In the mega space, there appeared the grass-type wooden palace, in the extreme space, there appeared the water plus ice-type Laplace, and in the Z space, there appeared the fire-type charcoal attendant. Yi Chen looked at the 3 new elves. Mu Shogun was covered in emerald green all over, with a dark green tail on his back. Laplace is water blue all over, with a large gray shell on his back, and his abdomen and front neck are milky white. Charcoal little attendant's whole body was like charcoal, with flames burning on his body, and at the top of the flames was a ray of blue-purple flames. Yi Chen looked at the 3 elves and also used the eye of data to check their information. Elf. Mu Shogun, gender. Male, attribute. Grass, level. LV5, feature. Prosperous, when HP decreases, the power of grass attribute moves will increase, hidden feature. Lightweight, speed increases when losing the items held, race value. HP, 40, physical attack. 45, physical defense. 35, special attack. 65, special defense. 55, speed. 70, skills. Double kick, parasitic seed, dragon breath, photosynthesis, bite, brave, playing with mud, tearing claw, grass flute, magic leaf, worry seed, flying leaf storm, clash, stare, elf. Laplace, gender. Female, properties. Water, ice, level. LV5, feature. Hard shell armor, protected by a hard shell, the opponent's attack will not hit the key, hidden feature. Moist body, abnormal state can be cured during rainy weather, race value. HP, 130, physical attack. 85, physical defense. 80, special attack. 85, special defense. 95, speed. 60, skills. Horn diamond, stand-in, spell, perception, dream talk, renewal, scratching, dragon dance, crying, singing, water spear, elf. Charcoal attendant, gender. Male, attribute. Fire, level. LV5, feature. Ignite, when attacked by fire attribute moves, absorb flames and your own fire attribute moves will become stronger, hidden feature. Flame body, sometimes causing opponents who come into contact with it to become burned, race value. HP, 40, physical attack. 50, physical defense. 40, special attack. 50, special defense. 40, speed. 35, skills. Fixed body method, resentment, same fate, stare, spark, scare. After reading the information of the 3 elves, Yi Chen released them as well, letting all 8 elves know each other. After all, they will be friends in the future. Yi Chen also took this opportunity to take a look at the elf space and found that the 3 elf spaces have different things. The center of the spherical building in the extremely large space still has the extremely large wristband, while the center of the spherical building in the mega space is the mega evolution stone of the flame chicken and the lizard king. The center of the spherical building in Z space is placed, the iron-armed spear shrimp is the water Z pure crystal, and the charcoal little attendant's fire Z pure crystal. However, the center of the newly emerged spherical building in the conquering space does not put anything. Yi Chen also asked the system, how come there are no Z pure crystals and mega evolution stones in the storage space? System, host, you need to search for the Z pure crystal and mega evolutionary stone in the storage space yourself. Of course, you can also purchase them in the system store. Yi Chen also knows that the elves who conquer the space need to use Z moves or mega evolution to obtain Z pure crystals and mega evolution stones themselves. Yi Chen asked again, system, do these things exist in this experience map instance? System, host, there are some in the experience map dungeon, but there are very few Z pure crystals and mega evolution stones. There are more evolution items than evolution stones, and you can also find them in the experience map dungeon. These can all be taken out. After understanding these things, Yi Chen began to upgrade with a few elves. What Yi Chen didn't know was that the system quietly breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, it only took back a portion of the evolution items, leaving some of the evolution stones and Z. Pure crystals, otherwise it would have had to pay for them on its own. Yi Chen spent another day upgrading the 3 elves of charcoal little attendant, and it was at this moment that Yi Chen discovered something was wrong. Yi Chen asked in confusion, the system, charcoal little attendant, and the 3 other elves have all reached level 10, why haven't Iron Arm Spear Shrimp and the others upgraded? System, host, I have made some adjustments here. Your elf level will be synchronized to the same level so that the elf can gain experience at the same time. Yi Chen was also well aware and prepared to let a few elves go out first while practicing. Yi Chen was walking in the forest, and several elves were also searching for elves to fight near him. Soon, Bulbasaur and Mu Shogun returned and said, Seed, Cha-Cha, Master, there is a faint breath of life ahead. After learning the meaning of Bulbasaur and Mu Shogun, Yi Chen prepared to follow the 2 elves to take a look. Yi Chen and Meow Frog Seed Mu Shogun arrived at the palace and found it to be an elf egg. Yi Chen used his constant strength to probe in and found that the elf's vital signs were passing. Yi Chen went to pick up the elf egg and started communicating with the system, exit experience map copy, system, good host, detecting the presence of humans around the host, system, no human presence found around the host, really exiting. Yi Chen felt dizzy and appeared in the real world. He didn't care too much and ran towards the center of the elf, holding the elf egg. Yi Chen ran to the elf center and handed the elf egg to the nurse at the elf center, asking her to help treat the elf egg. The nurse immediately hugged the elf egg and went for treatment when she saw it. Yi Chen also took advantage of this time to call Yi Li, do, Kacha. The phone was answered, and Yi Chen said, Xiaoli, I'm at the elf center. Come here quickly, I have something good for you. After hearing this, Yi Li replied and hung up the phone. After more than 10 minutes, Yi Li arrived at the elf center and found Yi Chen, saying, "Brother, what good things did you bring me?" Yi Chen took out a Pokeball from his waist and gave it to Yi Li. Yi Li was also happy to see that it was a Pokeball. "Brother, did you catch an elf for me?" "What kind of elf is it?" Yi Chen said, "Just open it yourself and you'll know." Yi Li also opened the Pokemon ball, and a burst of white light flashed past, revealing an ugly fish. Yi Li also recognized the fish and said, "Brother, is this the elf you brought back to me? She's so ugly." Yi Chen smiled and said, "Xiaoli, don't underestimate her. Take good care of her and she will give you a big surprise in the future." Chapter 10. Trainer Certification. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Upon hearing what Yi Chen said, Yi Li didn't say much and just took the ugly fish back. Yi Chen saw that Yi Li was a bit unhappy and said, "Xiaoli, what's wrong? Why aren't you happy?" Yi Li didn't speak either, muttering softly beside her, "What surprises can this ugly fish have? Let's not talk about ugliness, it's so weak." Due to the power of Changpan, Yi Chen heard Yi Li muttering softly beside him. Yi Chen and Yi Li said, "Xiaoli, what do you think of Minus?" Upon hearing Yi Chen's words, Yi Li said, "Minus is known as the most beautiful elf, it must be very good." When Yi Chen heard Yi Li say this, he also said, "Xiaoli, then you should cultivate the ugly fish well. How about I catch a Venus for you then?" Upon hearing what Yi Chen said, Yi Li was also happy. "Brother, is this true?" Yi Chen said, "Of course it's true. As long as you can make ugly fish confident that she is the most beautiful and gain her recognition, I will catch you a Venus." After hearing this, Yi Li also patted her small chest with AD and said, "Brother, don't worry, I will definitely meet your requirements." Yi Chen also smiled without saying anything. Yi Li saw that Yi Chen had been in the elf center all along and also asked, "Brother, what are you doing here? I wanted to ask earlier." Yi Chen said, "I found an elf egg in the forest outside, and its vitality was very weak. So I brought it back and asked the nurse at the elf center to treat it." When Yi Li heard Yi Chen pick up a fairy egg, her eyes lit up and she asked, "Brother, do you know what kind of elf egg it is?" Yi Chen said, "I didn't know that, but the elf egg is not big, about 15 centimeters high, so it shouldn't be a large elf egg." When Yi Li heard that Yi Chen didn't know what kind of elf egg it was, he lost interest and sat down next to Yi Chen, bored and kicking his feet. After a while, Yi Li suddenly asked, "Brother, you haven't obtained trainer certification yet, have you?" When Yi Chen heard Yi Li say this, he also remembered. That day, he only thought about upgrading his experience map dungeon and forgot to go to the trainer association for trainer certification. So he said to Yi Li, "Not yet. I hurriedly went to the forest that day, but it hasn't been certified yet." After hearing this, Yi Li said, "Let's wait for elf egg to recover and go to the trainers association to certify trainers. You were in a hurry that day, and I thought you probably didn't go to certify trainers, so I didn't go to certify either." Yi Chen said, "You don't have a certified trainer, how have you been cultivating elves these days?" Yi Li said, "I just train my physical fitness and release skills with chrysanthemum leaves every day, and I also take chrysanthemum leaves to the battle square for battles." Yi Chen nodded when he heard Yi Li's training method. "Your training method is not a problem, but during battles, you can let Kikusa Leaf fight on your own, and then give instructions when needed. This way, the elves will also attack on their own when you haven't given instructions or when you are in danger." After hearing this, Yi Li said, "Brother, this is a good idea. Is there anything else to pay attention to?" Yi Chen said, "You also need to pay attention to when the elves release their skills, let them control the energy, and strive to use the minimum energy to deal the maximum damage." Yi Li also nodded and stopped talking. After a while, the nurse picked up the elf egg and handed it to Yi Chen, saying, "You need to take good care of the Pokemon egg during this period. This Pokemon egg has suffered some damage before, and taking good care of it for a few days can completely recover. I have provided emergency treatment for the Pokémon egg and there are no more problems. Yi Chen said to the nurse sister, I know now, I will take care of the Pokémon egg. Yi Chen left the elf center holding the elf egg and Yi Li, and walked towards the trainer association together. 10 minutes later Yi Chen and Yi Li arrived at the trainers association and walked into the front desk, saying, Hello, little sister. The two of us want to undergo trainer certification. The front desk lady of the trainers association said, Okay, I'll make an appointment for trainer certification for you now. Please wait a moment. After a while, the receptionist lady handed 2 cards to Yi Chen and said, You two take this card to the 2nd floor, and someone on the 2nd floor will receive you and lead you through trainer authentication. Yi Chen took Yi Li up to the 2nd floor, where the staircase was facing a service desk. Yi Chen and Yi Li walked over and said, Hello, we are here to conduct trainer certification. The guide said, You guys come with me. The guide took Yi Chen and Yi Li to the first room next to him and said, You two, release the elves and perform level authentication. Yi Chen released the iron-armed spear shrimp and charcoal attendant, while Yi Li released the chrysanthemum grass leaves. Yi Li looked at Yi Chen and said, Brother, when did you reach the beginner trainer level? Yi Chen said, My iron-armed spear shrimp and I are training in the forest and have only recently reached beginner level. Yi Chen also took this opportunity to take a look at Jutsao Yi and found that she had reached level 9 and was about to enter the beginner level. Yi Li didn't ask much, waiting for the guide to test the 3 elves. After a few minutes, the guide walked out with 3 elves and said to Yi Chen and Yi Li, The detection has been completed. Iron-armed spear shrimp and charcoal little attendant have reached the beginner level, while chrysanthemum grass leaf is at the beginner level. Take these 2 cards and go down to the 1st floor to find the person who will make an appointment for you to collect the trainer's guide. Yi Chen and Yi Li went down to the 1st floor again and found the previous receptionist, handing them the card that the guide had given them. The receptionist swiped the 2 cards on the computer one by one, confirming that they met the identity of trainers. She then took out 2 picture books that were basically the same as her phone, inserted the card she had swiped on the computer into the 2 picture books, and handed them over to Yi Chen and Yi Li. She then said, The guidebook has been sent to you. You are officially recognized as trainers by the Alliance. Please protect your guidebook. The awakened and subdued spirits in the future will be automatically bound in the guidebook. If the guidebook is lost or damaged, please come to the Trainers Association for replacement in a timely manner. The guidebook will also periodically detect your spirits and update their information in real time. Yi Chen's guidebook is bound to iron-armed spear shrimp and charcoal little attendant, while Yi Li's guidebook is bound to chrysanthemum grass leaf. After the 2 finished working on it, they also returned home. Yi Chen said to the system, will this guidebook detect my other Pokémon? System, yes, host, as long as you release the sprites, this guidebook will automatically scan your sprites, Yi Chen. System, what should I do? I can't help but release the elves. System, host suggests you take a look at the elf egg you found first, and then say that again. Yi Chen also looked curious and used his data eye to check the information of the Pokémon egg.